Think Tank. So today we're going to talk about um, Batman issue 76 and Justice League issue 29. And the reason I'm doing it together as opposed to like a rapid fire review is because I found it very weird how these two books have sort of traded places um, when Rebirth started. So when Rebirth started, one of the best books to read was actually one of the three best books to read were Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. And then a couple things happened. Greg Rucka left the title for Wonder Woman. Tomasi, we're not sure if he left or was removed from the title for Bendis, or maybe Tomasi was just done. They only agreed to write a certain number of issues. Then Bendis came over, and then Tom King slowly started losing control of the story. I think in that order too. Justice League, meanwhile, was written by Brian Hitch at the time, and it was a pretty forgettable run. It really was. It was. It felt like every idea he had was never fully realized. It was like I have an idea, and the idea enough is good, but I should explore the idea. And then it was for the longest time. It was nothing that Brian Hitch was removed from the title, and then Christopher Priest took over the book for a couple issues for like one story, and then we came to this glorious Scott Snyder era. And Snyder has been, in my opinion, killing it with Justice League. He's big, he's ambitious. He doesn't just take an idea. He takes an idea. Well, he takes an idea and explores it to I think what he feels is his most logical conclusion, and then just assaults the idea with better, smaller ideas and great concepts. A bit of an exaggeration, probably. I know more people are more critical of Snyder's work than I am, but I think he's great. Even the flack I gave him for the Batman Who Laughs was not directed at that. I didn't feel the book was poorly written. I just felt I was a bit done with the Joker. Snyder likes to go big or go home, and the reason I had to talk was because it's sort of like it's been unsettling how much the landscape has changed for just those four books, for just those four books. And it's been a lot of changes have come really. The Titans have totally changed their roster. The Justice League roster is slightly different. There used to be two Green Lantern books. Now there's only one, and that book's only really about Hal Jordan as opposed to Jessica Cruz, Simon Baz, Hal, John, Guy, and Kyle. But these two books to me sort of highlight just sort of the nature of comics, how unpredictable it can be sometimes. I don't think anyone thought that when Tom King took over and did I felt a really great first story with I Am Gotham. I felt it was very Batman in a lot of ways. Um, would end up with this sort of story. The City of Bane, two parts into this, and I feel already like we're missing something. And that's been a big problem with King's story lately, is that I think he has a really good idea here, but ever since he failed to properly define how he broke Batman, all he's really shown is that the Moriarty in this story has created a great plan to outsmart Sherlock, but it doesn't quite feel like he's broken, because the thing is, just like in Sherlock, well, we knew Sherlock was right. We know Batman's right. So what the way to break the character would be if you actually made Batman think he was wrong. All right, Batman thinks he's wrong and he himself gives up. All right, King didn't do that. King just had Batman mope around for a bit. Batman always mopes around. He's a broody person. So yeah. So all of a sudden, like he broke you, Master Bruce. Like, did he? Did he? Like the closest he got was when he roughed up Mister Freeze. Too bad. And Bruce fixed that. And the idea, like, I gotta get back to who I was before. I'm like, oh, okay. Then what? Then there's a whole bunch of issues in between that don't quite sell the idea that Batman is broken. So this is sort of like the idea that Tom King feels like he's reached the logical part of the story for him. Like, okay, there we go. Now let's go on to the City of Bane story. And City of Bane makes very little sense. First of all, Bane's barely in it. It's just he's not really in it. He's taking control of Gotham City, so if you saw Dark Knight Rises, you know what this is about. If you read No Man's Land, you've seen this concept before. No Man's Land is super. It's a super ambitious story. Novel's better. Read the novel first. Actually, just read the novel. Period. Much easier to read through. Um, so the government cannot get involved. They try sending Captain Atom. Captain Atom is a powerhouse in the DC universe. He really is. He's pretty much a series of nuclear warheads, and his powers deal in radiation, and he can use that radiation to even mimic kryptonite. He can give off the same radiation kryptonite gives off, so he's a great enemy for Superman, but he's a good guy. So never really happens. So he tries to intervene, and well, we have Gotham Girl. Now, Gotham Girl sort of highlights a big problem with this story because, by all intents and purposes, by what Claire told us in I Am Gotham, she should be dead. So, by giving up years of her life, she can become stronger than Superman. In I Am Gotham, her brother Hank, gives up a lot of just. He pretty much dies being able to be strong enough to fight off the entire Justice League. All right, we're talking Cyborg. sorry, I applied Cyborg matter. Wonder Woman, Superman, Flash. The heavy hitters. He's just mowing through them like nothing, and that kills him. Here, Claire, so far, even before this particular story, she has been able to overpower the Flash. She's been fighting in Night of the Monster Man. She's been using a lot of that power, and now she's able to just one-shot Captain Atom. And she's also apparently still crazy, which is another problem I have. I thought, and maybe I missed it earlier when we had that whole story of Bane explaining everything. Or actually, it was Flashpoint Batman. I'm sorry, it was Flashpoint Batman explaining everything. And I just must have missed the part where it said, oh, Claire was faking it the whole time. Well, the Psycho Pirate did a thing. Like, yes, he fixed it, but it was only a temporary fix. It only fixed her just enough so that she wasn't crazy. Now she's working for Bane crazy. And this plan involves Joker, involves Riddler, involves Hugo Strange. On paper, this sounds great, but I also would not trust any plan that involves a unity with the Joker. No, don't. Ask Joker, ask Lex Luthor. That doesn't work. But whatever. And Bane is holding Alfred hostage, so the Justice League won't get involved because then Bane will kill Alfred. And I'm guessing he's somewhere in the Batcave with limited access, so that way no one can get to him. I'm pretty sure the Batcave can handle an assault by the Justice League. Bare minimum, it's Batman's cave. And I get the feeling that we're supposed to feel bad for Tim and Damian and everyone else. Like, we didn't believe him, or they don't even say they didn't believe him. Like, no, Bane's here. He did warn us. Batman did warn us. It's almost like the story gave us a really stupid reason to not believe him. But the Bat Family's been so removed from the breaking of Batman. It's like after Dick Grayson got shot in the head and became Rick Grayson, the Bat Family's been totally severed. It's a bit sad. So this story just sort of falls apart more and more. Because I don't know why Flashpoint Batman is here. I don't know why Catwoman played a super role in this. King is very obsessed with Catwoman to not be writing the Catwoman book. I just don't get this. I'm still gonna stick it through. I'm a trooper for Batman. I probably won't like it, and there's still a lot of good in Tom King's Batman run. To be fair, I think. But anyway, coming up to Justice League. Justice League has been building up like Batman, from everything from issue 1 ever since Snyder took over in Dark Knight's Metal. After Dark Knight's Metal. And this story was about the god of the multiverse, the creator of it, and the dark goddess Perpetua that Lex Luthor is trying to awaken to, pretty much create his doom utopia, where everyone is who they feel they should be and whatnot. And that's been interesting. And this issue is kind of similar to that issue of Batman, where there's not a lot happening that we didn't already know. We already knew that Claire was the Robin to Flashpoint Batman's Flashpoint Thomas Wayne's Batman. We already knew they were the dynamic duo of this horrible nightmare of a city. What this issue did was, where other issues were sort of showing us, hey, the heroes are doing this, the heroes are doing that, the heroes are on the move. Now we're seeing Starro give us a rundown as to exactly what's been going on. How Lex got the Legion of Doom together, faked his death, how they've been awakening the Seven Forces to further awaken Perpetua. Lex fused with Martian Manhunter. This is all told by Jarro. Jarro of all people. Starro in a jar. Little Starro. And he infiltrates the Legion of Doom. And he's like, I found Legion of Doom. I'm going to stop him. And yeah, we also get Starro's origin, which is cool. And it turns out this didn't happen. Starro's origin, more than likely true. But the whole battle that the Justice League has with Legion of Doom in this story is fake, because Starro has seen the future. He knows that the Justice League cannot win. So what's he going to do? He's going to mind control his best friends. and take them to the O planet where they'll hide off until everything's settled, or at least just forever. And to do this, Jarl was willing to go back to being Starro the Conqueror, and it was really cool to see that Jarl was willing to do that. Even more so because it's Batman who talks him out of it. I think Justice League fans were a bit hesitant when Snyder came out of the book because he is a big Batman fan, and I think a lot of people felt, well, he's gonna make Batman OP. He's gonna make Batman like the most important person on the team. Like, well, no. Most Justice League books usually try to balance out the importance. Well, the best ones do. We know that each one has something to present to the team. This book has been very Martian Manhunter, Hawk Girl, and Superman and Batman focus. All four of them had a lot to do here, and that's great. But seeing the fact that Batman's able to calm Jarro down, is really cool because the whole time, ever since Jarro's been in that jar, ever since he sacrificed himself as Starro to save the Justice League and Justice League No Justice, he's been looking up to Batman. He's been calling Batman his dad. He's been dressing up as a Robin. Like, we're gonna put that picture right there on the screen. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what a Robin looks like. I mean, move aside Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, Jason Todd, Damian Wayne, Carrie Kelly, even Stephanie Brown. All of you fail. This is Robin. He's just been a real trooper. And to see that he's legitimately changed to the point where Batman says, this guy here, the one trying to control everyone, to just run away from everything he's afraid of, that's not Jarro. That's not a member of the Justice League that we know you are. And this is like, we're going to fight. We're going to keep going. And Jarro tears up. He and Batman hug it out. It's cute. It's the most Pokemon thing I've ever seen Batman do in his life. And it was really great. And even more so, we get more of a look as to exactly how the bad guys are going to quote-unquote win. It turns out they have a huge piece of Starro, the original Starro. And that Starro can see what Jarro sees and hear what Jarro hears. So they're connected. So now the Legion of Doom knows everything everything the Justice League is going to do before they even put it into motion. Love it. And we still have the World Forger and the Monitor searching for the Anti-Monitor. Everything looks so good about this. And again, this is so weird, but also the power of two different kinds of storytelling here. Maybe Justice League 76, had it been under Brian Hitch or even Scott Snyder, would be at a different point by now. But it feels like in 29 issues, that Snyder has told a more comprehensive, more easy to follow story than Tom King, who has had 70 plus issues. And again, maybe it'll all play off a bit better once we see the whole thing, But I don't know. It was just interesting to see how that has changed. Because again, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, those three and the Trinity were pretty high-selling books at the time when Rebirth started. And Justice League, I couldn't find anyone that generally liked Justice League. And here we are now. Total shift. Well, with that in mind, we'll bring this video to close here. If you're new to the Bug Think Tank, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. Check out some other videos, and I will catch you all later. This is the Bug Think Tank signing off. Thanks for watching. As always, may your fandom serve you well.